Good morning. I'm Thomas Buchanan. I'm on a water fast. It is Friday, TGIF. It is week 12, day 5. Do you realize I've been on this current water fast for 12 weeks? And I gained 2 pounds today. I'm at 225.8. Now, before you flip out, as I did, I know why I gained the weight. As I told you yesterday, I'm going to take the month of September, the next 4 weeks, and I'm going to play around with the water that I drink. I'm really intrigued. I had a viewer a couple of weeks ago. He said, Thomas, you've been on a water fast for a few weeks now. What would happen if you went 7 days without drinking water at this point in your water fast? And I said, I honestly don't know. And that's how all of this got started. Well, I want to play around with that idea. See, the thing about my channel, this channel, is you get to learn with me. Okay? I gained 2 pounds today. What did I do different today than I didn't do yesterday? Well, I tell all of you, and I know it's like beating a dead horse, but I tell all of you, you're only allowed 3 glasses of 8 to 12 ounce glasses of water a day. I don't care when you drink them, breakfast, lunch, dinner, spread them out, drink them all at once, but you can't drink more than 3 glasses. Well, I drank all 3 of my glasses of water this morning, right after I got up, and then I weighed myself. So to me, that's what attributes my 2 pound weight gain. So that's why I'm not really concerned about it. I consider it water weight. But I'm really intrigued with this notion of the quantity of water that you drink. And here, let me give you a little background. When I first started my very first water fast 3.5 years ago, I said, well, I'm going to go the first 7 days with no liquids. And many, many people said, does that include water? You're going to eliminate water and not drink water for 7 days? And I said, yes. And they said, you're crazy. Your body needs liquids to survive. You can't do that. And you know, whenever someone says well, you can't do that, that just means they haven't figured it out yet, and they really don't generally know what they're talking about. They said your organs will shut down. You'll pass out. You can't go 7 days without water. And your body, by the way, needs lots of water. Well, I went 7 days without water because that's what I ask you to do. See, I would never do anything that I don't ask you, that I don't do myself. I would never ask you to do something I don't do myself first. So I went 7 days with no liquids, no food, no coffee, no tea, nothing. Well, turn the clock forward to a couple weeks ago, and my viewer who contacted me and said, what would happen since you've been on a water fast if you went another 7 days without water? It got me thinking, because do you drink? I don't mean alcohol. Every time when you eat food, every time you take a bite of food, do you have to have a drink? I don't care whether it's coffee, tea, water. Do you drink? Take a sip. Now, that's an interesting concept for me because I'm a drinker. Okay, I may not be allowed coffee right now. I may not be allowed tea right now. I may only be allowed water right now. But absolutely, positively, after each bite, I'll take a sip of water. Now, maybe that's strange to you. That's normal for me. Now, my wife, God love her heart, I have noticed this about her from going back to when we were dating. My wife can eat an entire meal and maybe take one sip of water or tea or whatever she's drinking. Maybe two. She does not take a drink after each bite. And that's why that got me thinking. I wonder, because, there are those people in the world that they don't have to have liquids with each meal. As a matter of fact, they prefer not to. Which takes me back to my viewer who challenged me to go another week without water, which I did, and I saw some positive results, and it got me thinking further. And that's the reason why the month of September, you may see me bounce down to 220 or up to 225, but I want to play with this concept of how much we drink. Now, I'm an acute diabetic, and I, my body processes foods and liquids different than yours if you're non-diabetic. I mean, I know that. But, going back to when I originally started my first water fast, I mean, people were flipping out. You can't go 7 days without not drinking water. And the reason why I limit you and me during the first 7 calendar days to no water is because on the 4th, 5th, or 6th day, I want you to and me to go into ketosis. That's where your body starts burning fat for fuel. And I have found in my experimentation that if you do not drink liquids during that first 7 days, you will go into ketosis faster than if you consume water. And unlike everybody who talked to me, going back to my first water fast, they didn't know what they were talking about. The body, you don't need to consume a glass of water every hour. You don't need to consume, and I'm starting to rethink whether or not 3 glasses of 8 to 12 ounce glasses of water is really correct. And so I'm going to use myself as a guinea pig. You can watch me for the next 3 or 4 weeks. And for instance, tomorrow, as of 12 midnight tonight, for the next day, I'm not going to drink any water. I'm not even going to drink the minimum 3 glasses of water. And I want to see what impact that has on my weight. And then the following day, I may only drink 1 glass of water or a half a glass of water. And so I'll be measuring it and playing with it because I've got to know, how important is it to drink 3 8 to 12 ounce glasses of water per day? Now that's just what, I've passed along to you what I have found that the body does need water, but it doesn't, you can't drink 6 big gulps of water a day, or these giant thermal cups. You can drink 3 8 to 12 ounce glasses of water a day and be okay. And, your organs will not fail. You will not die. You will not pass out. And if you're one of those people who are dieting, who are on a water fast, and you don't choose to drink water with, that day, try not drinking water. I mean, maybe only 2 glasses of water a day is what you need. So I'm really intrigued, as you can tell. I'd like to know, do you take a sip of water? Do you take a sip of tea, coffee when you're not water fasting? Do you have to take a sip of liquid every time you eat? Because the answer for me is clearly, oh, hell yes. I mean, it's not even optional. I must take a sip of liquids after each bite. Do you? Let me know. Post a comment. I hope you learn from my channel. That's what it's all about. I mean, I want to be an encouragement to you, because in today's world, it's hard to find someone that will say a kind word and really mean it. But I also want you to learn. I want you to watch what I try and see my results, and you may or may not try it yourself. I feel sorry for the 12 people, 15 people that gave up and went back to eating food. If you're not 100% dedicated to water fasting, if you're not 100% dedicated to losing weight, don't even start a water fast. Why bother? Why bother? I mean, you're wasting your time. And somebody asked me, I had another viewer ask me, he said, why 4 weeks? Why can't I do a water fast for 2 weeks? Well, I immediately have two, not one, but 2 responses to you. Number one, it takes 4 weeks to develop a habit. It takes 4 weeks to try anything new to see if it's going to work for you or not going to work for you. It just does. And that's why I have you, those of you, try water fasting for 4 weeks. And, the second reason really is insignificant, but, it takes time to develop a habit, basically. And you can't do that in a week or 10 days or 2 weeks, not generally. But I'm really, truly intrigued with this water fasting. Do you take a sip of water with each bite? Or in our case, where we're using water as food, Do you consume the entire glass of water? Or better yet, do you consume, as I did this morning, do you consume all 3 glasses of water at one time? What impact does doing that have on the body versus if you drank one 8 to 12 ounce glass of water for breakfast, one for lunch, and one for dinner? Or what impact would it have on the human body if I drank all 3 glasses of water for dinner? I wonder what impact that would have the following day. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, I don't know. I have no idea. Hadn't even thought about it. Hadn't even given it any consideration. It kind of goes back to a few weeks, perhaps a couple months ago. I replaced the scale that I weigh myself on because I was starting to get some questionable readings. It was a digital scale. And you can wear out scales. I mean, I started at 315. You can wear out the springs if you weigh yourself daily and you stretch the spring. It can give you a false reading. And that's why I replaced my scale. Same thing with, is there a difference? What impact would it have on my body if I went 30 days or 2 weeks with no liquids? What impact does it have on my body and yours if I drink all 3 glasses of water in the morning or at lunch or at dinner? I can't find any information about that. Apparently nobody's looked at it. Well, I'm going to look at it on my channel. Now, keep in mind, I like to try new things on my channel, and my goal is still to touch 198 by December 31st. That's my goal. And I have every intention to meet my goal. But you get to join me on my journey, and you get to watch me try different things and perhaps broaden your horizons. You get to watch me give you something to think about that you may or may not try. That's what keeps my channel fresh and new. That's what keeps you all interested in what I share. I generally don't get on and, well, I gained 2 pounds today. I've got nothing else to talk about. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Weight loss, ladies and gentlemen, is a journey. Whether you do the Mediterranean diet, the Jenny Craig prepackaged foods, the ideal protein, whether you go to your surgeon and have the fat sucked out of your body, it's called liposuction. Your weight is a journey. You will always be on that journey until the day you take your last breath and you die. So you might as well embrace it. You might as well start taking a look at, am I comfortable at my current weight, or would I feel a lot better 50 pounds lighter, or 20 pounds lighter, or 80 pounds lighter? I mean, I've got people on my channel that watch me, they... I've got one gentleman that started over 500 pounds. I can't imagine having 500 pounds of fat on my body. I just can't. But I take my hat off to the gentleman. You know, I've got a lady doing this for mental health reasons. I've got other people doing it for other reasons, but we all need to do it. We all need to embrace it. I'm not saying we all need to be a size 0. But one thing I have definitely learned, and my doctor will back me up on this, because he's confirmed my statement of people are too fat. And ever how you choose to get the fat off your body, do it. Start the journey. Don't give up. Don't give in. Screw peer pressure. Blow off your fellow employees at work that encourage you to eat. Believe in yourself. And I appreciate those of you that have taken me up on my journey, my challenge to begin your own water fast journey. I'm pleased with your results. I know you are. I mean, I've got several of you that have already reached your goal weight and you're on maintenance. I mean, you beat me. That's pretty exciting. You are to be commended for that. So join me on my special journey this next 3 or 4 weeks and watch me play around with nothing more than those 3 glasses of 8 to 12 ounce glasses of water a day. I may go 3 days without drinking my 3 glasses of water. I may only have a glass of water a day for 2 weeks. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something that I take a serious look at, because as I said earlier in the program, there are those people that they don't need to take a drink after each bite. You know, you're lucky. Some of those people, you're lucky if they take a sip of water or a sip of coffee or tea, 1 sip during the entire meal. You know, and for you naysayers who say, oh, your organs will shut down, you'll damage your organs, you'll permanently do damage to your body. No, that's not true, because we have people, I know of people who they just don't drink liquids when they eat. And if you remove food and put them on a water fast, they still prefer not to even drink water. Not even the minimum 3 glasses of water a day. So my minimum 3 glasses of water a day may change. We'll see. I don't know what the next 3 or 4 weeks will bring, but we're going to learn about it together. You're going to watch me succeed or watch me fail. Like I said, I do keep track of my weight, and even though I'm experimenting these next 3 or 4 weeks, my top end is around 225. I don't expect to exceed 225 by much. And if I do, then I may go back to drinking 3 glasses of water a day. But you know, if I had to give you a range, it would be 220 on the low side and 225 on the high side. So we'll see. And I'm basically at 225 right now. But like I said when I started the show today, I drank all 3 of my glasses of water in the morning when I first got up, and then I weighed myself. And that is what I'm attributing to the weight gain. So, but interesting idea, interesting concept. I don't know where I'll be in 4 weeks or 3 weeks, but I certainly am going to play around with this water issue, liquid issue, and how much you drink. And I'm not so sure that 3 glasses of 8 to 12 ounce glasses of water are really needed. I think 3 glasses is the maximum right now, but I'm not sure it should be the minimum. So stay tuned, and we'll learn together, and you can draw your own conclusions. I always like to end my show with the saying, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Again, everything will be okay in the end. I guarantee it. If it's not currently okay, then simply it's not the end. Be patient. Have patience. Don't beat up on yourself. There are too many people in the world, the negative people, that will beat up on you and put you down. Don't you be one of those. And watch yourself talk. Watch what you speak that comes out of your mouth. Don't ever say I'm stupid or I'm fat or I'm ugly or I'm fill in the blank. Because there's a very important individual that's listening. You are. And if you say those negative comments often enough, you will start to believe it. And trust me, I've never met you, but you are not ugly. You are not fat. You know, the only thing, and the only analogy that comes to mind is you have fingernails, but you are not a fingernail. You have fat on your body, but you are not fat. You're a person, a valuable person, an important person. Always remember that. And I will check in tomorrow, and we'll see if I have gained more or if I've lost more. I'm not sure tomorrow when I wake up whether I'll be drinking 1, 2, or 3, or maybe 0 glasses of water tomorrow. We'll see. Stay tuned. Let me know what you think. If you'd like to leave a post, feel free to do that. Again, I started at 315. I'm going to touch 198. And I would love to touch 188 pounds. But 198 is my goal. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay healthy, stay happy. And I would sincerely like to know, do you have to take a sip of liquid every time you take a bite? Because clearly for me, the answer is yes. I'll see you tomorrow.